Recording is on.
Okay, we can start. Hi, today I will present about Calc Impress automated testing. So first thing is the Calc automated testing. In Calc, there's a lot of tests. Many of these tests are contained like this SCQA folder. And probably this is the most tested module in LibreOffice. And interesting is it has a lot of kind of different tests. So we will go through probably most of them, but there are also some tests that I didn't really look into it. Maybe they're a little bit special, and maybe not so relevant. The tests in Calc are relatively well organized. Most of them are kept more or less together, and there's a lot of scripts contained so that they are you can recognize quickly where they belong. So what are these kind of tests? So first, maybe interested, very special to Calc are these formula function tests. Those are like tests written in a Calc document, and these are mainly for testing of the formulas. So maybe if we can go look at some of these tests. There is like a functions spreadsheet is one kind of test that is like a formula test, and this test is the source files is relatively simple because everything is, as I said, inside the Calc document itself, and it just goes through all the files, so all the documents inside this folder, and just tries to run them and checks. I think that it checks one specific cell inside the document that says if it's if it passes or not. Yeah, I don't have one of these documents loaded, so maybe we can search for one. These are in unit tests. What are these? And we have to go into data, functions, and we had spreadsheet, and these are the documents that are run. So we can look into one. What is interesting, for example, column. No, and this is just a simple test. It only just has this run. And now what it tests is inside here. So this is the function, and then what is the expected one. So what it should return. So the function expected one, and if it's true, it's correct, and everything. All the formulas that it tests are defined on the right side. And inside here you can just, it just says that all of them, this should be true and this, yes, this is then expecting that all this should be also true. So if you look what formula is here, you just test if expected should, the function here should be what is expected. So this is how such tests are run. So usually if you are if you make a new formula that is not yet present, it's good if you write a test or something like this. Or if you find something wrong with, if you find something wrong with the existing formula, it's good that you can create a test for this, like this. So next one is like UCalc tests. These are mostly, I would say, like tests that has no input document, which is also sometimes can be unit tests. One example of this I have is, for example, oh no, this isn't here, UCalc pivot table test. In the UCalc pivot table test, what these tests do at the beginning? You have to check here. Sorry. Okay, here is the where the test starts. What it does is it derives from SAU calc test base. And then, as you can see, where is, I think that automatically it will create a new document, like a new, not document as in an empty document, but as a SC document class, and then you can access it here, like, and then you can just insert at the beginning, insert all the tabs that you want and all the data, and at the end you can create your like fixture, and then you can check it later. If it contains the correct if it contains the correct data that is expected. So in this case, if you are doing something with the pivot table, you can check here if the pivot table data is as expected. So this is all here defined, but it doesn't use any source document in here, and you can usually just at the end delete the tabs, and this is you don't have to do anything else. But I saw that there is also a different kind of UCalc test, and this is like SC range test. The SC range is just one simple type inside Calc that is just a range from some cell address to another cell address, and this is a pure like unit test. So this is why I said it's also used for unit tests. Then we have filter import and export test. We've already know a lot of talked a lot of in the previous trainings, TTT trainings about the import and exports in Calc. Oh, this is SD. A mistake. In Calc, this is in a lot of them are inside this subsequent filter, subsequent export tests. And this is like an example of this. We like many times we just load the document and try to save it as for example, OXML document, and then we are checking the structure of the OXML document if it's what is expected. This is a typical export test. And there's also many others. I think that the subsequent test, I'm not sure if still are using, but they are not usually run when you start make check, but at a later date, later time. And yes, oops. There's also many other test files that are also import or export test, but not specifically mentioned as such. I'm not sure if, yeah, I don't have any for this. So next is like this performances. I don't know much about it, but so this was already presented by Miklos, and so I don't want go into them. Then there's are like this type unit tests. A good example for this is like the SC address test. But I think that at some later point we will put this into like a SC QA types. And what is special about this test is that it tests like this SC address class, which is like a constant expression class, so it can be checked at compile time, and so this test is mostly like static assert, and what is actually what this test, the whole this test could be already inside the SC address class itself, and it will always be tested when you actually compile the code. But this is what I first thought, but I then added it as a separated, like a unit test. So it's not always run when you're actually compiling, but when you're actually running the tests. That's compilation's already taking a long time, so it's not good to add it more. But this is one example, like what kind of test you can also add. So this is, most of them are run as a at the runtime, but this one is the specialty is that it's in compile time, and we have also other tests that are similar like this. Not in Calc, I think. So the last one, I'm not sure is it last one. I know. One of the most interesting tests for is like this type rendering test, which tests the allocate API, and it's very useful for online. I think it's a lot of when we do anything for online, it's very good to write the tile rendering test. It's very useful when you want to test what multiple views, what multiple users are doing, and you can there's already a lot of infrastructure there that helps you with catching all the callbacks and commands. So if we look like one of these style rendering tests, and this is not only for inside Calc, this is also, as we'll later see, also for Writer, it's also for Impress. So let me see if this is one from this kind of tests. A little bit more interesting one. Document repair. I guess on the beginning, yes, a little bit more simple ones. So for example, test move shape handle. So usually you get from the you load some document, and then you have like this test view callback class, which is, let me see if this is inside. Yeah. What are we? SC type rendering. Is this inside here? I don't think so.
It's inside Harper, I think.
Where?
SCQA Harper, perhaps?
Helper. No, it's not helper. Unit. Helper, yes. SC type rendering. So first, this is the test, and okay, it's here. Yeah, it's not in this card. Oh, anyway, this is useful because it will record all the callbacks that are for one view. So when you create these, you can then create a new view like this with create view, and then you will all the callbacks for the first view will be recorded inside this class, and for the second view it will be recorded inside this class, and then you can see if when you create when you, I don't know, for example, do some event, if this event was actually sent to the via LibreOffice Kit or not. So this is one example here is something like this. And then you can exactly see that something is, if something is missing or not missing. So you can easily create very, very sophisticated tests, even for example when you are dispatching some, when you run some command, if all the invalidations and all the the callbacks or even the command itself is sent to the via LibreOffice Kit. I think that if there is some issue in online, it's much easier to create a tile rendering test than do some UI test inside online itself. So a lot of cases can be covered with only just this test. So the next one that is very has very good coverage inside Calc, and but not from anywhere in other modules yet, are these UNA API tests. They are like inside SDQA extras, and there are other tests inside these extras, but most that end with OBJ are these UNA API tests. Special thing about these tests is that the implementation of these tests are actually inside test module source, because what we for UNA API we have all these tests at one place, so that can be much easily reused because there are a lot of very similar things between modules. These are converted actually from Java. There are most of the API tests that we have are actually still written in Java, but most of the Calc tests are actually now converted to be in C++. Let's see. Where I have one of these examples. This and this is how this test looks like. Mostly there is not a lot of in these classes inside Calc, but in this case there is something, but generally just creates a setup and sets some initial values, or loads a document depending on what it is. But the actual implementation of a lot of these tests, like I said, this is inside test. So also this, it works like this, that you have you extend from this API test Excel, and this class itself has the test only. It's only run inside here. So if we really want to see what it does, we have to go to this test source sheet and look at what is here. And let's see, this implements the sheet cell properties, so properties of one sheet cell. It's implemented here. It just asserts if the properties that you get are the correct ones. And this we can also, if there is some new API or we change API, add some properties or something, it may be necessary to change this test. Then we also have UI tests. I didn't. These are mostly, I didn't go into detail, but they're Python based, and they are usually using constructs on the UI to test if, for example, they can open a dialog and set some values, and then you can see what these values are. I think I looked into one. No. Oh yes. I know these are something different. Here, yes. So we have like high show sheet function. So we are actually testing if how the show is working correctly. So we create we insert a new sheet and then select it, and then we try to hide it with this command. And with the show, we execute a comma dialog and try to set it to some value to 1, and then see if this is working or not, and assertive. So yeah, I didn't write probably any of the UI tests because I am usually if I cannot test it anyway differently, then I use UI test. Otherwise, I usually try to get some other test, and most of the times I didn't need to write a UI test. For some people, it's easier to write a UI test and better to have some test than any test at all. So on the last, I also saw that there's OpenCL tests. I think that these tests are very similar. That like testing these formal function tests, but probably we will not need to change any of these anytime soon. I'm not even sure if they are regularly run now. You need to have OpenCL enabled. This is all for Calc. Now a little bit about the Impress. So first, it's like it's also Impress and draw tests because they are the same module. And first, you see that they are not as well organized as Calc because there's like a lot of test classes, and many of them are testing either the filters or import export and a round trip test. But they are not explicitly set to something like inside Calc, where it's a little bit a lot more obvious. So what is being tested. So they are like this filter, starting with filter tests. These are usually import or export tests. Also import, I think they also export. Yeah. So one, we can look at this, maybe if there is some test. So these filter tests, we can look at. So most, not this one. Let's look into export test. Yeah. So most of them are like deriving from this SD model test that has that gives you a little bit of helper methods that you don't need to re-implement yourself. So you can get, for example, a page easily from Uno, and then you can also get like from shape directly. You don't have to write this code yourself. But there are just a little bit, not a lot of them. So they are not very similar that like import, export test and like Calc and writer. You load a document, save and reload. So this is a typical round trip test, and then just assert either using the SDR objects or on some cases Uno API. And in some cases you also just check the content of the documents itself, like here. One special kind of test that I noticed is this layout test. This is, you can look at these tests. What is special about them, is that they check the layout of the page. I mean, what is meant here by layout is that they are converting the document or the current page into a meta file XML dump, and you are asserting this directly. So probably it's easier to have such a this test as a special kind. It's a lot more readable than you would do this on yourself inside the document. So you just load the document and you get back XML, the XML file, and the XML meta dump. You can just assert what should be the positions of the various elements inside the page. And then also similar like inside Calc, there are tile rendering tests. One special one is like this unit test. Unit test. Did I have it open? It's here. It's here. This one. There are not a lot of unit tests in here, sadly, but what it does is it uses this, it creates this SD draw object. So in this case, it's for Impress, and then checks a little bit manually, adds some pages, if you can add pages, if you can delete pages, and these functions that are usually available on this SD draw object, draw document object. I think we should really extend this. There are only just what is one or two methods here, so two tests, and this is all. We really would need to extend this a lot. So also related to this one are the tests inside SVX model, which are usually testing in more general way the SDR objects. Impress and Draw are using a lot of these SDR objects, so they're tested like implicitly also inside the SD module, but some of them are also available in SVX module. So for example, this is something from there, and as you can see, they are usually loading some either Impress or draw file, and then checking if these are correctly set inside the document. So very similar. Maybe this should actually be inside SD, or maybe not. It's they're very similar concepts, so it's very hard to know when to put a test in one and when into the another. But for example, this test, the test rectangle objects, this is more kind of a unit test, or at least a test that is not directly loading a document, but it's getting from creating the document. Not even the document, it's just the model from scratch here. And this is a good example how you can test if it's correctly rendered for example, some object, SDR object. In this case, I think it tests the SDR rectangle object. And if you set the lines, it should be correct. Yes, this is all from me. So thank you. I guess any questions?
Thanks, Thomas. So anyone have any questions, or I will go one by one? Okay. Let me ask Mike Miklosh.
It's not really a question, rather a comment that it was like Thomas, you were demoing that we can have tests where you accept the rendering result by a meta file, and also in this recent test you were showing that we can also just generate these primitives and then assert what's in the primitives. And just a comment on that, in case you can choose between these two, then usually it's always better to test something higher level. Meta files are really low level. It's hard to, if you have a table with a border and 4 lines, then you will just have 4 lines there, not any kind of border. And if you go with a primitives based testing, then you get something higher level. You will actually have a border there and so on. So if you can choose between these two, then always try to prefer primitives over the lower level meta file.
Yes, this is actually. I think that it's a lot easier to check the primitives because you have a lot. It's more exact what will be then used for rendering meta file. Is there is another conversion that is not so exact. You can get some losses there. So yes, you should use the instead. Maybe we should also do instead of a layout test, we could also have a layout test that is using the primitives, not the meta files. That would make sense.
Okay. Armin Aaron Ash. I see chat in. Okay.
No questions. Thanks. I mean, No questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Then I have Kalen Klo Gokai.
Nothing from me.
Okay. Then Jiao Mei, Jiao Mavin.
No questions for me. Thanks.
Okay. And
Thank you.
lastly, I have Mike Atelia Bairam. Sorry, I think I already asked Bairam. Yeah. Mohit Parth Pranam.
No questions. Thank you.
No question.
Thank you. And Timur or yeah, Timur and Cisco. Do you have anything to ask? Okay. Cool. I think it's that's it. So we'll see you next Friday. Yeah. Bye bye.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.